Matthew 1:14. Azor de egenisen ton Sadok, Sadok de egenisen ton Achim, Achim de egenisen ton Eliud. We continue reading here the genealogy of Messiah Jesus, and we read, and Azor beget Zadok, and Zadok beget Achim, and Achim beget Eliud. This last name here is often transliterated with Latin letters for the English language as like this, Eliud. Pop quiz time. Let's see if you've been paying attention. We're going to ask you some questions based on the previous verses we've gone over. So we have this little word here, de, and it's in a class of other words like gar and like un. And these are words that always or usually come second. Sometimes they can come further in, but we'll just simplify and say always come second. What are those words called? Well, those words are called post-positive particles. That's right. That means little word that is post-positive, that comes after the first, that comes second. Little connecting word that in Greek comes second or further in the clause. Now, let's imagine that we have someone and we look up these words. And in fact, I did glance at this in the lexicon beforehand, and every single one of them begins not with a definition, but with this statement, indecl. What does that mean? That means indeclinable, right? Indeclinable. You may know to a declension. Remember that? First declension, second declension, third declension. A declension just means pattern. And it's using movement here, sort of upwards and downwards movement with the idea of sort of a pattern unfolding, right? The idea of here you have nominative, genitive, it's declining, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. But if something is indeclinable, then all of these forms are the same. There's one form that is indeclinable, and that's very common with proper names that have been borrowed from other languages. Now, if you're interested, of course, these are originally Hebrew names, and you might be curious about some of the meaning of the names. And some Greek lexicons will, in fact, give some comments about the meaning of the underlying Hebrew names. So, for example, if you look in Donker's abbreviated lexicon for the name Eliud, he says this means in Hebrew, God my praise.